Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Skyla Ramirez. Welcome to our Yoga for Everybody session today. Let's get started lying down on our backs, bending the knees, and working on some mindful breathing. So let's start with a technique called the three-part breath today. As we lie on our backs and get comfortable, we may want to put the hands down on our belly. This way we're able to feel for the rise and fall of the stomach when we breathe. As we inhale, let's breathe in through the nose as much as possible. Bring the breath down into that belly region, and then let it move through your ribs, let it come up to your heart. On the exhale, relax your heart, relax the middle ribs, and then relax the belly. Those are the three parts. Now the count is a 3-count breath, inhaling 1, 2, 3, exhaling 3, 2, 1. You can always count a little faster or even a little slower. It's not necessarily an equal volume of breath. The count is simply there to create mindfulness as to the rhythm and the building of the breath, building on the inhale from the belly, through the ribs to the heart, and then exhaling 3, 2, 1. Let's take maybe a quiet minute to tune into each of our own unique rhythms, counting 1, 2, 3, exhale 3, 2, 1. Keep the jaw relaxed. Notice any tension that may be stuck in the back of the throat, in the tongue, maybe even through the neck and the shoulders. Continue to build the breath from the belly, through the ribs to the heart. And then exhale, soften the heart, soften the belly, soften through your hips and low back. Let's let go of the 3 counts now, and maybe just let the breath be, allowing it to shape itself in an intuitive way. Let's extend the arms up towards the sky, and then maybe take the arms back overhead, reaching through the fingertips, stretching through the sides of the lungs. Let the arms come down beside you. Turn the palms down. Let's walk the feet in close to each other. Moving through a few sways with the knees. Exhale as the knees twist to one side. Inhaling to center. Exhale, twisting over to the other side. Pacing the movement so that it is choreographed. Every inhale, every exhale has a unique movement. Exhaling, twisting, wringing out the spine and wringing out the lungs and the belly. The next time your knees are over to the right, let the knees rest there. Lift up the right arm, drape it over your chest, both arms reaching to the left while both knees twist to the right. Inhale through center with arms and legs. Exhale, knees to the left, arms to the right. Inhaling through center. Knees to the right, arms to the left. Inhale through center. Continuing with that easy sway and that easy twist. Maybe allow your head to gaze over to the hands. So whatever direction the arms are reaching, turn your head that same direction. Take your time and even this flow up on the left and the right. When you feel that it's even on both sides, stop at center. Draw both knees into the chest and hold on either to the sides or backs of the thighs, pulling the knees in. We can always take those knees wide if that feels better on the hips and back. Add in a tiny rock from side to side. Let's bring the knees to center, extending both legs up, point the toes, then flex the feet. And just continue to point and flex, loosening up the muscles that run along the fronts and backs of the legs, muscles that connect all the way to the tops and backs of the knees. Add in a few ankle rolls. It's okay if you hear a few crackles and pops. Sometimes this is just fluid or even air moving around in the joints. Let's bring the legs to stillness. See that the feet are the same distance as the knees, and that could be pelvis width or hip width, a little wider. For those of us that maybe have chronic back pain, bring the feet into pelvis width, a little more narrow. Let's bend our knees and lower the feet. Press the hands down to the floor. On the next inhale, let's lift our hips away from the floor, finding bridge pose. Exhale, lower the hips down. Let's flow this a few more times, one breath with one movement. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, hips down. Now maybe add in a count with the breath. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, exhaling, 3, 2, 1. Just a few more. Close the eyes, maybe tune into the foundation in this pose, the feet, the upper back and shoulders supporting us. One more. Let's rest the hips down on the floor. Draw the knees to the chest one more time and let the hips rock again, countering that bridge flow. Let's bring our knees to stillness, lower the feet. Let's roll over onto one side and then push up, coming up into all fours position or seated for cat and cow flow, allowing your body to choose the foundation of seated or all fours. As we inhale, we drop our belly and push the hips back, looking straight ahead. On every exhale, we round the spine and drop the head. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. Maybe use a exaggerated exhale with this to release tension in your back. We would inhale through the nose and then exhale with almost a ha breath. Inhale into cow. Exhale, cat. 2 more. Last one. Really exaggerate that exhale. Let's find all fours position, either staying on the knees and the hands or come down to your elbows if that feels better. Let's take our left foot straight back, keeping the foot fairly low to the ground so that there's not too much pressure on that hip joint. Slowly bring the left knee in, both knees on the ground. Inhale, right foot straight back, keeping that foot fairly close to the ground. Again, we want to eliminate as much tension or pressure in the back as possible. Bring the knee in. Let's pace it with the breath. Inhale, straight back with the left. Exhale, bring it in. Shift, inhale, back with the right. Exhale, bring it in. One more on each side. Inhale, back with the left. Exhale in. Inhale with the right. Exhale, bring it in. From here, touch the toes together. Open the knees wide. Begin to press the hips back towards the heels, coming into a wide-kneed child's pose. The hips may or may not touch the feet. If you're having pain in the knees, come forward a little bit and maybe come down onto your elbows. No matter where we find ourselves here, let's shift from the body to the breath, focusing on those really exaggerated exhales. Exhale with a sigh. Two more. Last one. To safely come out of this, let's all shift forward. Come up onto the hands just for a moment. Bring the knees in directly under the hips and separate the toes. Let's step one foot forward into a kneeling lunge. Tuck the back toe, and let's bring ourselves up to a supported standing position, maybe keeping the hands on the thighs for now. When our body is ready, we'll begin to slowly walk the hands up the legs so that we can find ourselves standing in a strong mountain expression. From our mountain pose, let's see that our hip bones lined up with our knees and those lined up with the ankles, shooting out the toes, stacking the joints for as much support as possible in the hips and the spine. Let's bring our shoulders up. Inhale, pull it back. Exhale, drop them down. Shoulder rolls with the breath. Inhale, bring them up and back. Exhale, down. Exaggerate the inhale. Big breath in. Back and around. One more. Inhale, lift and open. Then drop it down. Inhale, bring both arms up overhead. Extended mountain, maybe even looking up towards the sky. So we begin to activate a little more of the muscles in the neck, through the head and the face. Let's bend our knees. Exhale, swan dive halfway down, arms to the side, then hands to the thighs. Relax your head and neck. Shake it yes, and turn your head left and right. Let's straighten our arms, propping up the spine, creating a flat back. Release the hands to the side. Inhale, stand tall again, extended mountain. And now exhale, hands to the heart. Let's try that again. It's a forward fold flow. Inhale, arms sweep overhead. Extended mountain. Exhale, swan dive halfway down. Hands to the thighs, hips are pushing back. Relax the head and neck. Inhale, come halfway up. Hold it in place with the exhale. Establish a nice flat or neutral spine. On the next inhale, arms wing out, reach up overhead. Exhaling, hands to the heart. A couple more through that flow. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive halfway. Relax the head and neck. Inhale, lift halfway. Line up the spine. Hold it on the exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhaling, hands to the heart. One more time through. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, flat back hold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Holding here, Anjali Mudra. Relax your hands down to the side. Bring the feet in, either still at pelvis width or a little closer. And let's add in a gentle trunk rotation, just allowing the trunk of the body to sway and let the arms kind of just flail out from the body. Any movement in the arms, any momentum that we pick up in the limbs is going to be because of the power in the trunk rotation today. You're welcome to close your eyes. Notice if there's too much effort going into the rotation. We might feel a little bit of movement in the knees down to the feet, but we definitely don't want to feel any pain with this because of that little bit of rotation. Make the movement a little slower. Eventually coming to a completely still point. Let's take our feet out to hips width. Placing our hands at the heart, stepping our left foot back, a casual stride for warrior one. Let's bend the right knee just a little bit. Left foot back and right knee forward bend. Inhale, sweeping the arms overhead. Warrior one, holding it here. Lower the chin, maybe even close the eyes. Press the shoulders away from the ears. Breathe into the chest, nice and big. Inhale. Exhale from the throat. One more. From here, let's sweep the arms behind us. Inhale big, knuckles by the low back, or lace the fingers together. Let's straighten our right leg. Inhale, bow out the chest. 3 exaggerated breaths. Big breath in. Exhale, feel the chest dropping slightly on the exhale. 2 more, big inhale. Little bit of a drop on the exhale. Last one, big breath in. And then exhale. Let's bend that right knee again. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, warrior one. Exhale, swan dive down, hands to the thighs, supporting that fold. Option to straighten the right leg and maybe walk the hands down a little lower down that leg, possibly even touching the floor. Let's hang the head nice and loose. Holding pyramid pose. Exaggerate the exhale. Inhale is short, maybe even a little shallow. Exhale is exaggerated and breathy. 2 more. Last one. Let's slowly walk those hands up the right thigh. Keeping the hands on the right thigh, let's bend our right knee. Take the right hand, take it to the low back, right knuckles by the low back. Left hand stays on the right thigh as we prepare for a twisting warrior one. Inhaling, drawing the right shoulder back, pushing the left shoulder forward. We're twisting towards the right, keeping that healthy bend in the right knee and the left leg straight, pushing back firm through that left heel. Inhale, open a little more on the right side of the chest. Exhale, relax. Let's bring both hands onto that front leg. From that bend in the right knee and that left leg straight, peel up that left heel and turn the heel in. That way you're going to face the long edge of your mat. The right toes are out front, left toes are out to the side. The feet are perpendicular. From here, let's extend the arms out like a T, finding a mighty warrior two expression. Looking past the right fingertips. Establish a steady gaze. Let's turn the right palm up and let the left palm down. Reach straight up with the right hand, reverse warrior. We continue to lunge into that right knee as we pull up and out of that right armpit and out of the right waistline. We could look up. This is the more traditional expression of the pose. Or we can take that gaze back behind us, maybe look a little bit to the left, creating a nice soft stretch that works with gravity. One more big inhale, breathe into that upper right lung. Exhale, let it relax. Find the inhale once more. Exhaling to side angle pose, dropping that right hand onto the right thigh. Taking the left hand straight up and out from the shoulder as if you're going to wave to someone walking towards you. The thumb is up and the palm is open. Option to straighten that right leg. Maybe even slide that right hand past the right knee down to the right shin, finding an expression of triangle pose. Drawing the left shoulder back and pressing that right shoulder forward. There is an element of a twist in this pose. There's that element of detoxification and it's an element of fire in the body. So if you feel a little like rush or a flash of heat, that is a sign that we might be stimulating those energies that this pose is meant to stimulate. Big inhale. Exhale, relax, lower that left hand to the hip for balance. Let's bend the right knee, slowly begin to come up with that right hand. Turn the right toe forward, and now reposition your body so that you're able to establish your body's expression of a strong mountain pose. Let's move from the top of our sequence. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Forward fold flow. Exhale, forward fold, hands to the thighs, drop the head. Inhale, rising halfway up. Hold it flat back. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. One more time through that flow. Inhale, arms overhead, extended mountain. Exhale, swan dive, hands to the thighs. Relax the head and neck. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, flat back, hips back. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Stepping our right foot back, a casual stride, and bending that left knee. Warrior One foundation. Inhaling, lifting the arms straight up to the sky. Gazing out as if you're gazing out to the horizon. Keeping that active bend in the left knee, we're pushing back into the right heel. One more big breath in place, reach. Inhale, sweep those hands back behind you. Either let those knuckles rest by the low back or lace the fingers. Exaggerating 3 big inhales. Big breath in, lift the ribs, lift the chest. Exhale, it's going to drop. 2 more. Big sigh. Last one. Inhale, release the hands, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive, both hands onto that left leg, pressing the hips back. At this point, maybe we straighten the left leg a little more. Having the option to stay right here. We are in a safe place for the blood pressure. Or maybe just slowly, out of curiosity, begin to come down, dropping the head, keeping those hands either on the leg for support or touching the floor. Let's shake out the head and the neck. 3 big exhales, countering the energy that we just had. Big inhale, big exhale. 2 more. Let's take our time walking those hands up the left leg, onto the left thigh, bending that left knee a little bit, establishing a nice flat back. Let's keep our right hand on that left thigh. Bring the left hand around to the low back, moving into that twist. We're drawing our left shoulder back, pressing the right shoulder forward, looking over the left shoulder, or look in alignment with your heart. Maybe it's a more neutral neck position. Inhale, open the left shoulder a little more. Exhale, push back into that right heel. Keep bending the left knee. 1 more big breath. Exhale, bring it around to center. From that center position where you have your left knee bent and right leg straight, turn the right heel in so that you're open long ways on your mat and reach out through the fingertips. Bending that left knee, right leg straight, looking over the left fingertips, warrior 2. Let's turn the left palm up. Take the right hand down to your hip or let it rest down onto the outside of that right thigh. Reaching straight up to the sky with the left hand. Keep bending that left knee, lunging forward. Inhale, pull out of the waistline and the ribs on the left side. Just like we did before, we could look up, or we could look just a little bit over to the right so that we allow gravity to soften this stretch. Big breath into that upper left lung. Exhale, soften. 1 more big inhale. When you're ready, finding the exhale, finding side angle. Breathe in and then breathe out. Left hand to the left thigh. Right arm extends out from the shoulder. Thumb is up, palm is open as if you're waving. Inhaling, drawing the right shoulder back and the left shoulder forward. We may want to hold it here, or maybe we experiment with straightening that left leg. We could always slide that left hand past the knee to the shin. You could even touch the floor. There are a lot of options for the placement of that left hand. The one thing that we don't want to do is put pressure on the knee joint. So just keep sliding that hand down away from your knee. There is that rotation element in here, drawing that right shoulder back, left shoulder forward. 1 more big breath. Inhale, open and reach. Exhale, relax. Let's bend the left knee. Inhale, come up to warrior 2, nice and easy. Let's bring our hands to the hips. Turning the left toe forward, let's inch our feet in towards each other to establish our strong mountain stance again. Let's center the energy with that forward fold flow. Inhale, arms overhead, adding in a heel raise. Shift forward and lift the heels. Exhale, drop the heels, swan dive down. Walk the hands maybe a little lower down this time. Inhale, come up halfway. Bend the knees, flatten the back as you exhale. Inhale, rising all the way up again. Exhale, palms together, hands to the heart. 1 more time through our flow. Inhale up, lifting the heels. Exhale, drop the heels, forward fold. Inhaling, coming about halfway up, bend the knees, hips press back, exhale, flat back. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, palms to the heart. From here, relax your hands and shoulders, kick off the legs. Maybe grab a sip of water. Let's get ready for our standing balancing pose. Our standing balancing pose today is an expression of a flamingo pose. Similar to tree, but little different rotation in the hip this time. Considered usually a little safer on the hip than tree. If we want, we could always be close to a wall or have a prop. That way we're able to focus on the strength, we're able to center ourselves, and there's less worry about falling over. From wherever you are, let's lift one leg. So I am standing on my left hand has my chair for support, and I'm lifting my right leg. This is my outside leg. I'm also flexing my foot. So rather than a pointed toe, create a flat foot. Pull the toes up towards your kneecap. From here, start pressing your foot back, keeping a little bend in the left knee. We can open that right hand up as if it's a opening of a big flamingo wing. Maybe we take the left hand away. I have a little support here. You may not be able to see it, but I'm able to lean my hip into the chair with both arms open. Bowing out the chest, big inhale, spreading those flamingo wings. Just one or two more big breaths here. Let your body decide how long it wants to stay. Last one. Let's relax our hands, relax the foot. Let the knees and feet move a little bit. And let's get ready for the other side. Standing on my right foot, right hand and hip close to the chair. I'm lifting my left knee, pulling the toe up towards the kneecap, and then pressing that foot back, leaning forward just a little bit. Let's bend that standing leg just a tiny bit, ensuring that not only do we have healthy blood flow, healthy circulation here, but there's also less strain on that joint. Inhale, open the arms, either one or both arms. Expanding breath is exaggerated in the chest. One or two more. When we're ready, let's slowly step both feet to the floor. Relax the arms and the legs. We are coming down to the floor now for some deeper stretching. So if you have anything that you'd like to clear out of the way, go ahead and do so. And if you have anything that you would like to maybe bring into the practice, like a yoga block or a pillow, go ahead and grab that at this time. Let's come down to the floor, finding a seated staff position, extending the legs straight out in front of the body. I have my yoga block I'm using today, and you are welcome to use a block also, but it's not required. From here, I'm placing my block between the knees and thighs. It's in the most narrow position. Pulling the toes back towards the knees. Let's bend the knees a tiny bit. So we might even feel that those heels are dragging in just a tiny bit as the knees bend. Inhale, reaching the arms up and overhead in our seated staff. Lower the chin a little bit, lengthen through the crown of the head, and close the eyes while we Allow the body to build strength along your spine. Continuing to breathe through this, building strength along the spine. Exhale, swan dive, bringing the hands to the tops of your thighs for support. Now at this point, if you notice that maybe you feel that there's not enough room to move forward, I recommend taking the legs out wide into what we call a seated straddle. Still keeping those toes straight up, pulling in, maybe even turning the toes a little bit in towards each other. So just in case you want to get a different view of this, if we have the feet out and take them wide, we want the toes to turn in just a little bit to protect the low back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink. Inhale, come up a little bit for the spine to lengthen. Exhale, sink down. Maybe just two more like this. Inhale, little lift. Allow that breath to create a little bit of rise in the body. Exhale, empty the lungs, deepen the stretch. Last one. Let's walk our hands in, support the spine, hands coming in and up the legs. From here, bend the left knee and then the right. From seated, let those knees sway left and right. Windshield wiper knees with our trunk rotation. Notice which side feels more comfortable to twist towards. And once you discover that more comfortable side, go ahead and twist into that side and lower down into a side lying position with the knees bent. Hugging the knees in tight to the body. Breathe into your low back, middle back, and upper back, waking up that energy along the sides of the spine, in the back of the lungs. So there is a belief in yoga when it comes to energy work that when we need to replenish our energetic reservoir, we do this by receiving prana through the back of the heart or even through the back of the body. So for those of you that maybe just feel depleted, and if it's not today, it's just common that sometimes we give and we just haven't taken the time to replenish that energetic reservoir. This is the pose we do, either this or you can sit up and lean forward a little bit and just focus on receiving your breath into the back of the heart, into the back of the body. From here, let's roll onto our backs. Keeping the knees bent, walking the feet out to the width of the hips. Let's bring just the left knee in, pull behind the thigh, give that knee just a little tug into the chest. We've done a lot of stretching, a lot of forward folds, a lot of movements to relax the sides of the spine, the legs, everything that's sandwiching the low back. So this is our opportunity to get weight off the feet and to really work on that low back energy. Let's pull that left toe up, turn the knee out to the side, and place your left ankle on top of the right thigh, creating a figure 4 stretch. Left foot on top of the right thigh. You can hold it here, or maybe lift the right heel, drag that right toe in, and lift the right leg. You could always hold it here, or take both of your hands, wrap them around your right thigh, and then tug that right knee in a little closer.
If this is uncomfortable at all, maybe it's uncomfortable on the back, maybe it hurts the shoulders to reach, you could always leave your right foot on the ground. Put the left hand on the side of the right thigh, and on the left hand on the side of the left thigh. Pull that left knee in while it's out to the side, and then maybe take your right hand under the right ankle and pull the whole leg down and in. Relax the jaw. There is that very intimate connection between the jaw and the low back. As we soften the jaw, we could soften the low back and pelvis too. Exaggerate your exhale. Make sure you can hear it. One more. Let's slowly release that left leg down to the floor, drawing the right knee in, flex the foot, turn the knee to the side, and let's rest that right ankle on top of the left thigh. Hold it here. You don't have to lift anything or move anything. This could be all the body really needs today. If we want to experiment, we could always lift that left heel, pull the knee in, maybe take both hands around that left leg. Now, it could be hard to see, but what I'm doing is I'm basically like threading a needle. I'm taking my right hand between my left and right thighs. So my right hand is going under my right calf and then wrapping around the left leg. Now, again, if this is painful at all, this can be far reaching for the body. It can strain the shoulders. So instead, you could take your right hand around the right leg, lower that left foot down, and then take the left hand under the left ankle. So you're pulling in on the ankle and in on the thigh. And that right knee is going to drop back towards your right armpit a little bit. It can almost feel like happy baby pose, but hopefully not as strenuous. Exaggerate the exhale. Just manipulating that connection of cranial sacral, manipulating that connection of jaw to sacral energy. One more. Let's slowly let that right leg come down to the floor. Both feet on the floor. Sway those knees a little bit. Let's extend both legs out. And then take both arms overhead, pointing the toes, reaching through the fingertips with the palms open into our stick or pond gesture. Find the breath in the very middle of the core, the very center trunk of the body. So as you inhale, there's this rise in the waistline, not only in the belly, not only in the chest, but the breath originates in the solar plexus. It begins in a place 2 inches above the belly button. Inhale, let that breath expand from the solar plexus. And then exhale, pull it in. Relax your whole body. Lower the arms down just outside your hips, palms facing up. Truly put your body in any position where you're comfortable. Sometimes people prefer to have their hands on their stomach. Sometimes people like to keep one or both knees bent. Tune into the breath. This is where it all began today. It all began with awareness of that breath in 3 parts, building the breath from the belly, through the ribs, up to the heart, and then releasing that breath, relaxing the heart, the ribs, and then the belly. Adding in that count of the 3 parts, enhancing the practice of self-awareness and observation of that breath. Inhaling 1, 2, 3 at the heart. Exhale, relax the heart. 3, 2, 1. Soften your belly and hips. Take the next quiet minute to practice coaching your body through the breath and sticking with each moment that passes in the art of observation of that life force. Remember, you can count faster or slower. If you get sidetracked, if you lose focus, first, congratulate yourself for even noticing that you lose focus. Get back on track with the breath. Exhale and then inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Let's observe that minute of silence for us to count. Let go of the count. Let go of the breath manipulation and allow the breath to be all on its own, trusting the body to do the work that is necessary to sustain life, to sustain prana. Breathe into those places that may be harboring tension. Try slowing down the exhale. Again, not manipulating it, but rather simply owning the breath a little longer, slowing down the exhale so we're not so quick to just let it all go. Become aware of your fingers and toes, aware of any parts of the body that are resting heavy to the earth. As we are nearing the end of our hour practice today, some of us might have some things we need to do, so we'll take our time to eventually make our way up into seated. Wiggle the fingers and toes, bend the knees, sway the knees. Eventually let those knees sway to one side and maybe just rest there, side lying, breathing again into the back of the body, awakening those energy channels that move up along the sides of the spine.
As we make our way up into seated, we might want to move the head and the neck a little bit. In closing, let's try 3 big inhales and big exhales. Exhale all the way first. Making space for those inhales. Big breath in. You can even rise your arms up. And then exhale, let it go. Last one. And let it go. Let's bring our hands together at the heart, our seal of physical reverence, Anjali Mudra. Inhaling together and then closing together with a bow. Namaste, everyone. My soul greets your soul. Have an absolutely lovely day. I look forward to seeing you all in our next session. Namaste, everybody.